Hey everybody, happy Friday. I'm hoping you guys are having a great December and wow, wait till March. Hey, a couple things for you today. First of all, let's talk about property taxes. Property tax bills came out. Everybody should have them in their mail, but we need to remember that property taxes are artificially low this year because the legislator and the governor gave us some tax breaks. These are potentially one-time tax breaks. So like my property taxes, I got like $500 off. So what does that mean? That means we need to prep people that maybe when the new property tax bills come out next year, the people's property taxes could jump quite a bit. We just want that to be aware of. But for mortgage lending, we have to use the current property tax rates and the current property tax bills. So just FYI on that one. Hey, something that came up this week that was kind of interesting I want to share with you. 7-foot ceilings. Did you know? I didn't know. But did you know in June of this year, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, VA, and Rural Development all came out with new standards for ceiling height. It's called an ANSI, A-N-S-I. I don't know what that stands for. American National Standards or Institute. I don't know what it is. Anyways, they basically said that if a ceiling in a house is not 7 feet, you can't count it as gross living area. Now, let's say, instance that you have a bedroom and the bedroom is at 6'10", but the rest of the house is at 7 foot or higher. That's fine. They just can't count the gross living area of that bedroom. So that could affect the value of the house and it could affect your CMA. In my situation, the whole house was between 6'7", 6'10" feet. So the whole house was not considered gross living area. We did work with the realtor on this. We did work with the agent on this, and we think we have a resolution on it. But this doesn't happen very often. I want everybody to be aware of it. If you go into a house, the ceilings are not 7 feet, don't count it as gross living area. Flood, let's talk about flood. I also had another file this week that had a flood zone. So how do I know it has a flood zone? When we submit, and usually before initial underwriting, we pull flood certs. They run $10. They're super easy to do. And this house is in a flood zone. Now, the agent on the other side said, oh, I didn't know. The sellers say, oh, I didn't know. Well, people should know, I guess. So in this case, the house is in Middleton and it was rezoned in 2019. When FEMA rezones a house, the homeowner gets letters, lots of letters, saying that they are now in a flood zone and they need flood insurance. Now, do people just ignore the letters or do they purposely ignore the letters or what? I don't know. But anyways, that can really cause some issues when we get into underwrite, not because it's in a flood zone, but because we now have to have flood insurance and that will increase a borrower's debt to income ratio. So I am going to put a link down below where if you're listing a house, I would highly encourage you, just put the address in and see if it's in a flood zone. It's super, super easy to do. When we get a flood cert back, I always redo it. So we know that we verify that it's triple check that it's in a flood zone. And last, let's talk about rates a little bit. Wow, what a freaking great day on Wednesday it was for rates. I'm not going to go into all the details, but basically the Federal Reserve is extremely dovish and had everything right to say, and that caused rates to super tank. Rates continued on to go down yesterday. They're kind of flattening out, and I suspect over the next probably 3 weeks, we'll probably see them pretty flat. But what that did is that dropped conventional rates into the mid to high 6s, and that dropped FHA, VA, and USDA rates into the high 5s. Yes, I said high 5s, and maybe low 6s, depending upon credit scores and stuff. So with that, we've got one more game in the season. Go Broncos. Thank you, as always. Make it a great day. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to use me as a resource. Thank you. Take care.